No, no.
Okay, so I'll tell you about my Halloween, and it's basically
Okay.
the weirdest shit that has ever happened to me.
All right.
Okay, so you saw my aunt, my beautiful, beautiful aunt. We went and made a group convert Halloween costume. It was like Willie, no, what the hell was it? Alice in Wonderland, and
Alice
they wanted
Wonderland. Okay.
me to be Mad Hatter, so this is the costume there. So I want you guys to take a look at that, see that, because it's important for the story and it makes the story kind of funnier. Okay, so I meet this girl in line. We hit it off. I just had like a little fall slash summer fling not work out. So it was like kind of like a boost. I was like, all right, yeah, I know.
Right, right,
So
right.
Max still got his mojo. We talked and like we talked like every day. And I was like, hey, I'd like to see you. And she's like, I'd like to see you too. I'd like it if you came to one or this rave or this rave. So I bought a ticket for the rave on a Friday, and it was like $80 for the goddamn ticket, which is fine. And then like the day of the social, so the social and the rave are going to be the same. The social was like earlier, so I was going to leave the social a little earlier and then go to 11. And so the day of, she kind of got a little distant and like, oh yeah, I'll possibly see you later. And I was like, well, no, like I even let her know that week. I was like, hey, I'm not bringing anyone. Like I'm going there to see you and be with you for a good portion of the night. Is that okay? And she's like, yeah, sure. And then the day of Friday, she's like, oh, I hope you don't mind. I'm like really into the rave scene and like da 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 da. And I know lots of people, so I'll be talking to lots of people. I was like, I'm not jealous at all. That's really cool. That is a-okay.
She's a popular person. She like
That's
can get around. Yeah, yeah, it's good. Yeah, yeah,
fine.
yeah.
And then I get there, I show up, like, okay, everyone at the social was like, oh man, you guys are, and like the group costume was like a good vibe. I was there with like family members and friends of family, and it was like everyone's like, oh, you guys is like, and it was like a social full of lawyers. And I even met a lawyer and we started dancing, and she's like, oh, stay, stay. And I'm a man of my word, and I promised someone that I would meet them there. So I left this lawyer at this social who like just wanted me to stay. Probably could have turned into a magical night with her, but that's fine. Out of my words, I had to go to the social because I told someone I would. I get there, and it's like it almost seemed like she was avoiding meeting up with me. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay. Okay.
This girl, fuck, I don't even remember her name. That's why this doesn't matter. But anyways, so and then I get there, and then we start talking. And you know, if I was at a party with you, I was like, Jordan, I'll be right back. I just gotta go talk to this guy. She did that exact same thing. She's like, I'll be right back, I promise. And then I look down, I look up. She's already gone from that guy with another group of guys, which is like, I'm like, okay, I'm just not gonna be jealous. I don't care. I'll just be fun, new, even though, and it's like, so I'm like, I'll be cool. And then I like invited her to dance. So I'm a gentleman, and like I took her by her hand. She talked to a bunch of people on the way, which I said hi to everyone. I wasn't like being jealous or possessive, and I'm a gentleman, and I believe that if you're even at a rave, you should wait at least 30 seconds before you grind a chick. So
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
dressed as
fair.
the Mad Hatter with this big hat, big ridiculous costume, and we're holding hands. We're starting to
Yeah.
dance, and within that 30 seconds, a guy comes up from behind her and like just grabs her. And she just bends over and she's like super into it, still holding my hand like this. And then out of my like left side of my eye, a guy comes up, takes her hand out of mine, and then this guy and this other guy sandwich her, starts making out with her. And I'm sitting there standing there like a fucking idiot in my
In a Mad Hatter
yeah,
costume.
that's what
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
it funnier.
Jesus
And
fuck.
and then I just like, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. As I was watching them, there's like someone came up, like, man, your costume's really cool. I was like, yeah, thanks. This is, yeah, fucking great. Yeah, fucking
Having a sitting in misery and
it's like,
stewing
well, and
and
I just like had a little fling not work out, and this was supposed to be like my uptick from it. I was like, holy fuck, like what a like I've
you
been stood up. This was worse than being stood up. I got
that's
like
like
stood up.
you got like stolen.
Yeah,
They
I
got
got stood up
stolen.
like the month before. So like after this, it was like, holy shit, my luck with girls has not been good. And then like they started talking, and then the guys were like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Tony." And I was like, "Nice to meet you, Tony." Like, and anyways, I just like right away, I just tapped her on the shoulder. I was like, "Look, man, I felt like you wanted me to come here to see you. Obviously, that's not the vibe you're putting out right now." And I left, and then she sent me, I don't know, like 5 or 6 messages, been like, "Oh man," like she obviously felt guilty and knew she did something
Right.
wrong. And you're like, you know what, man? Like, if I were to invite you somewhere, and like it was a party, and I might be like, hey, I might be going around talking to people, I'd at least hang out with you for at least fucking 2 minutes. or at least a goddamn song. Like we didn't
Yeah.
even. And then she's like, she sent this text of like,
I'm just curious. So she sent you 6 or 7 messages and you just said fuck it and bye?
well,
Like
I
what
was,
happened
no, I,
after?
I responded, and maybe I should have just left it. But it's an argument. Like people that think like this can't take accountability. This was all my fault
Right.
that this happened. I was like, yeah, clearly, like fuck. I'm sorry if you came there for me, but that's not the way I roll. LOL. I have lots of friends, and I'm not one to be tied down to anyone. I don't want like a boyfriend or anything. I was like, well, how I roll is if I were to invite someone somewhere and say come out, I would at least a song or two or a full conversation. Not even a full fucking. She kept leaving, and I was like, whatever. I said, LOL, you've invited me out and you didn't even give me a full song or two of dancing. Good luck. I'm not interested in how you roll. Good luck on your journey. All good. Sorry. Have a good night. I never said I was committing to only seeing you. When the fuck? It's like, this wasn't like, oh, you like, we're dating now. You have to see me.
Yeah,
Like, you
right,
fucking
right.
invited me somewhere. Like you're at, like, saying tied down. I wasn't like telling you to not talk to people. I wasn't being like, hey, you're here with me. Like, it was
Yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah.
like, I was like a minute, at least a song.
That's like you and me, like, hey, like let's go for a coffee. And we're standing in line and I get my coffee and I'm waiting for you to get your coffee. You get your coffee and just like leave the restaurant or leave the coffee shop. And then you come back, you're like, oh hey, are you done your coffee? Oh, and
Hope
then
you're not
you see a
mad.
friend, and then I get mad at you. Yeah.
Like, whoa, Jordan,
Because
like, that's not how I roll. The way I don't want to get tied down to you.
yeah, it
And
seems
she's
a
like,
little.
oh, and then she said thanks for helping me over the past couple days because I guess I was like helping her shop for a car. Like she kept phoning me, asking me questions. Uh,
Used and abused.
no, I don't know, but it's just like I was like, what the fuck?
Well, you'd think that, like, see, I think that like a guy, I'd like to think that if I brought a girl out like that and then I wasn't vibing, like maybe, she was vibing and then she was like, whoa, and then
You know
she
what?
saw a hot guy, I would at least introduce my quote unquote date or my friend to like maybe a girlfriend.
Being stood up sucks, but actually, if she would have stood me up, that would have been better.
It
Actually,
would
like
have been better than what happened.